The interior of the cabinet houses all the peripheral components. Let us identify each and their purpose. Start with the power switch with the main door open, located on the left side of the cabinet right above the power supply. The type of switch used here is a single pole, single throw switch. Its purpose is to supply the EGM and components that require power needed to operate. Right above the power switch, located on the left side of the cabinet, we have the audio amp board. The purpose of this board is to control and amplify the audio as needed during certain states of the game's animation. To the right of the cabinet, our next board will be the lighting control unit, also called the LCU. The function of this board is to control all of the LEDs on the cabinet. You'll have an individual LED control board that attaches to the LCU that controls the input and output of each LED unit. They are located throughout the cabinet. In this particular configuration, there are a total of 3. One for each monitor, the main and the upper monitor, and one for the iDeck, the pillow assembly, and BB card reader LED housings assembly. The bill validator and the printer are located on the right side of the cabinet. This configuration is called an inline entry. It has only one point where you can either insert or retrieve notes. In order to service either, you simply have to pull on the pull tab located on the left side of the printer. Once you've pulled the pull tab, lift up on the printer and the printer will tilt backwards in the service position. Once in this position, you have the ability to service each as needed. The CPU is located in the center of the cabinet. This controls and communicates information to each of the peripheral devices that are part of the EGM. The CPU is equipped with a logic door for added security. It also has 2 network interface ports built in. So you will see a MAC address for each of the NIC cards built on the CPU. Looking at the front of the CPU, we can see it has an LED indicator on the front. They're designed to help with troubleshooting and identifying if there is an issue with it or other devices. Starting from the right, when looking at the CPU, we can see a red button. This is a power interrupt button. It is advised to never touch this button when the EGM is on or during its operating and setting up of the CPU. Next, we see the CPU status LED. This is used by engineering only. Next, we see the activity fields. These are used for SATA drives. Should you have any SATA drives plugged in, you will see activity for each. Then we see our GIO status. These LEDs are indicators for your power consumption being used by the CPU. Again, they are status LEDs to give you an idea what a certain status may be. Lastly, we have the identifier of what type CPU this is. Under this, we can see the type processor, the DRAM used, the type video card being used, and lastly, we can see the size of the internal hard drive that is built for this particular CPU. To remove the CPU, open the logic door on the CPU and leave open. Using the handle, pull towards you. Twist slightly to the left to allow the right side to be more forward than the left side of the CPU. Now, pull the CPU towards you to pull out and through the belly door. To access the operator's menu, you have the diagnostic button. This is located on the right side of the cabinet towards the back and above the CPU. To refill the ticket printer, place the paper in the feed tray and insert it into the printer. When inserting, check the orientation of the paper and ensure that the ready light comes on. To feed the paper, press the feed button. This will feed a blank ticket through the printer. For repair and replacement of the main monitor, the top monitor, and the iDeck, refer to our YouTube page.